Okay, so today onwards, we are going to be discussing JavaScript. Let me create a new folder for JavaScript. UI classes, I want to create a new folder. Let me create a folder called JS. So inside JS folder is creating inside HTML. Let me do one thing. I'll create a new folder here called JS. Let me close everything here. Now open JS. Inside JS, I'm creating a nodes file. This nodes is separate. Now this nodes is separate. Okay, so JavaScript. Now come to the topic JavaScript. Why JavaScript basically using for? So first of all, the one thing we have to understand, JavaScript is most demanding programming language in 2024, and JavaScript is mostly using for develop web applications. And one more thing is JavaScript is browser interpreted programming. JavaScript is interpreted programming, not compiled programming. And one more point, JavaScript is general purpose. General purpose. It means what? Why general purpose I'm calling? With JavaScript, we can able to develop all kind of applications. All kind of applications. It means we can able to develop web applications. We can able to develop mobile applications. We can able to develop data science applications, and we can able to implement AI applications, and we can develop games, and we can develop blockchain applications. See, like this, JavaScript is general purpose. In the market, JavaScript is general purpose, but mostly JavaScript is available for the web applications. Okay, nowadays mobile applications also very famous. So using with the JavaScript, there is a kind called React Native, and there is a one thing called Ionic, and one thing called Next.js. All these things are there nowadays in JavaScript. Now, one more important point we need to understand: all JavaScript files are saved with .js format. All JavaScript files are saved with .js format. JavaScript now object oriented using with TypeScript or TypeScript. Nowadays JavaScript is converted as object oriented using with the TypeScript, and JS is open source, and JS is language independent, and JS is browser independent. It means what? For every browser, JavaScript will work, and for every language, JavaScript will work. Because in the backend part, you may use Python, you may use PHP, you may use a .NET, you may use Java, you may use a PHP, you may use a Ruby on Rails, you may use a Go language. In the backend part, you may use any kind of programming, but front end part, JavaScript is for. And coming to the browser, Any browser you take Firefox, you take Chrome, you take Safari, you take Opera, any browser, JavaScript is working, not an issue. Okay. So MDN is the official website. MDN development, MDN developers. MDN dev is official website for JavaScript. Official website for JavaScript. So I already told you, MDN is the official website for JavaScript. Whenever you want to go for the documentation kind of thing, so MDN is the Mozilla Developer Network, is the official website. MDN means Mozilla Developer Network. Mozilla Developer Network. That is the official website. And nowadays people are actually working with the W3 schools also. W3 schools also very good. Schools also very good for the learning JavaScript fundamentals. Now come to the part. With JavaScript have lot of libraries and frameworks. Libraries and frameworks. See, once you are comfortable with the foundation of JavaScript, once you are comfortable with the core JavaScript programming, then you become master in multiple other kind of libraries, kind of React.js, kind of Angular, or Vue.js, or Nest.js. Nest is different, Next is different. Nest is different, Next is different. Okay, so you may go with the Node.js, you may go with the Express.js, you may go with the Knockout.js, you may go with the Ember.js, you may go with the Tiny.js, you may go with the EXT.js. So any kind of frameworks or libraries you can able to easily learn when you are comfortable in a core JavaScript, foundational JavaScript. Okay, so that is the reason. So JavaScript have a lot of libraries and frameworks, and top libraries and frameworks are. కొన్ని టాప్స్ రాద్దాం ఇక్కడ. Top libraries and frameworks are. The one is jQuery. Top is React, basically. React bar popular. And after that, Angular. And after that, Vue.js. And one is Node.js. Node.js. I'm just writing the top ones, which are very famous. When you are comfortable in the core foundational JavaScript, what is the next step I want to move into? If I want to master in JavaScript, you have to go with all libraries and frameworks also. If you want to become master in JavaScript, you have to go with the different kind of libraries or different kind of frameworks. For example, if you want to become a Python master, Python master means once you know Python basic programming, Python core programming, then you can go for Python libraries and frameworks like Python Django, Python Flask, Python scikit-learn, Python Keras, Python TensorFlow. Okay, so in Python there are multiple things. So you can develop using with Python, you can develop web applications, you can develop mobile apps, you can develop data science applications, you can develop artificial intelligence, and you can go for data analytics. You can go for blockchain, you can develop IoT apps, you can go with the 2D, 3D games. So there are multiple things you can able to develop using with Python at the same time using JavaScript also. And JavaScript have some bunch of libraries and frameworks which are very, very famous. Like React is there, Angular is there, Vue is there, Node is there, and Express is there, and TypeScript is there. And Ember is there. One thing is Knockout is there. One thing is EXT.js is there. And one thing is Tiny.js is there. And one thing is Next.js. Next.js is there. One thing is Nest.js is there. See, like this, if I'm trying to writing something, there are multiple things, but I'm writing the topmost libraries and frameworks here. So the topmost libraries and frameworks are React, Angular, Vue, Node. The first four, whatever the first four I'm writing here. React is there, Angular is there, Vue is there, Node is there. These four are very, very famous. These four are very, very famous. When you learn JavaScript, at least you have to be strong with the one framework or one library. So I am actually telling to you, after learning JavaScript, learn React. The top-notch front-end library is React. The top-notch back-end library is Node.js. Better you can learn React, Node, React in the part of the front end, Node in the part of the back end. That is better. So there are multiple things. If you want, you can search in the Google also. For example, if I search for, even in ChatGPT, I'm searching for, so JavaScript libraries, famous libraries, or top 10 libraries in 2024. If I search like this, you can see the list of libraries. Okay, so one is a React, one is a Vue, one is Express, and one is a Angular, and one is a React Native, and one is a jQuery, and one is a Lodash. I don't know about Lodash. TensorFlow.js, TensorFlow.js for deep learning, and D3.js data visualization, that is Socket.js. Socket is basically using for IoT applications. See the top-notch libraries and frameworks which are available for the JavaScript. You can search in Google also. Okay, so these are the fundamentals about the JavaScript. Now, okay, I'm just writing something here, but in our course, in our full stack course, in the part of the front end, we are learning React. In the part of the front end, we are learning React. This one we are learning. Later on, sir, I am having interest on Angular also, sir. That is, once you got the job, okay, the job requirement is different. The project requirement is different. You got the job as front end developer, but their project requirement is different. So they want to go with the Angular. So they will intimate you, sir, just try to update with the Angular. Then immediately what you will do, once you know one library, then automatically you can able to update with another library also. So learning Angular is not that much complicated. It is just like a piece of a cake, eating piece of cake. And once you strong with the one framework or one library, learning another library, another framework is just like that. Okay, that you have to remember, not complicated. But one library learning is very important. Learning one library is important. Then how you learn library? First of all, the foundation of JavaScript we need to know. Without having the foundation, without having the core topics, fundamentals, we cannot able to do anything. See, without having the Python fundamentals, I cannot able to learn any kind of library or framework. If I don't know Python, means directly can I go with the Django? Directly can I go with the TensorFlow? Directly can I go with the scikit-learn? I cannot able to understand. Why? Because there is some concept for the Python, how the indentation will be, how the loops will be, how the conditions will be, how the operators will be. I try to understand Python fundamentals, Python programming fundamentals first. First, you know the programming fundamentals, then only you can able to understand the libraries or frameworks. Remember this point. Okay, this is the first day class. First day class itself, we have to understand what are the requirements to learn as a JavaScript. I want to become a very good JavaScript developer. So we are entering into the competition. We are actually competing with the millions of people in the world. We are not only the person learning JavaScript, there are multiple people already know JavaScript and people are learning JavaScript, but how I become good, how I become master. When I compare with another person, how I become master means you have to know many things in JavaScript. You need to understand the flows in the Java. Am I clear? And you have to do the multiple assignments also. So you have to keep work on JavaScript multiple things after the learning some concepts at all. Okay, now let me jump into the JavaScript topics. Fundamentals. See, fundamentals means what are the fundamentals we need to learn? I'm just trying to writing some fundamentals here. First of all, how to integrate JavaScript, how to integrate JS for HTML. This is the first fundamental topic we need to understand. How to integrate JavaScript for the HTML. We are writing some HTML content. On top of the HTML, how to integrate JavaScript, how to add JavaScript, how to inject JavaScript. See, basically, JavaScript is one important major pillar. One note point I'm writing here. JavaScript is one of the major pillar for web development components. JavaScript is the one of the most important pillar for the web development components. What are the web development components? What are the web developer components? Web developer components. What are the web developer components? The first one is HTML. The second one is CSS. The third one is JavaScript. That's it. Three web development components are there. Three major pillars are there. Okay. So when you take a bed, so bed have four pillars. We call pillars. Bed తీసుకుందాం. Bed ఎన్ని pillars? Four ఉంటాయి. In the same way, this web application will have three pillars. Only three pillars. The first pillar is HTML to design the web page. The second pillar is CSS to give the cosmetics, to give the styles, to decorate the web page. And go with the JavaScript. JavaScript is basically functioning. When I want to click on the button, when I want to provide a request from client system to server system, when I want to take a response from server system to client system. See, that time JavaScript is crucial. And I want to implement some kind of JSON data. I need to operate with a kind of arrays. I need to operate with kind of objects. That time JavaScript is very, very important. And I want to make a loop. I want to work with the loops. I want to work with the conditions. I want to work with the operators. All these things, JavaScript is most important. HTML for using what? Designing a web page. HTML basically using for designing a web page. And CSS basically using for what? Styling a web page. And JavaScript is basically for what? Functionality for a web page. Remember, these three are major important pillars. So in these three pillars, what is the famous one? No, everything is famous, but JavaScript is having a more and more priority when you compare with HTML and CSS. Why? Because of without having HTML, you can't go with the CSS. Without having HTML, you can't go with the JavaScript. And without having CSS, there is no use of HTML and CSS, HTML and JavaScript. And without having JavaScript, there is no use anyway of the HTML and CSS learning part. So the main thing you need to understand is, okay, let me take a simple paint here. Just a JavaScript architecture or world I'm trying to giving now. The simple thing. So you will be having the HTML first. HTML. The first important thing is HTML. For every web page, the most important thing is HTML. Okay, on top of the HTML, what we want to do? On top of the HTML, the major important thing is every time I need to change the font means it is irritating. Huh? On top of this CSS, on top of the HTML and CSS, we have to go with the JavaScript. On top of the HTML and CSS, we need to go with the JavaScript. On top of the HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, libraries and frameworks. Whatever the libraries and frameworks. For example, I will be having a jQuery, or I will be having a React, or I will be having an Angular, whatever it may be. We don't care. MacBook is comfortable. This Windows machine is not comfortable drawing and writing. jQuery is there. Bootstrap is there. Then React is there. Then Angular is there. And Vue.js is there. And Node.js is there. Okay, so let me write down something. So when you are comfortable with HTML and CSS and JavaScript, then you can able to learn a jQuery, or then you can able to learn a React, then you can able to learn Angular, everything. For example, my learning way is like this. Okay, I am learning HTML. After completing HTML, I am learning CSS. After completing CSS, I am learning JavaScript. After learning JavaScript, I am learning React, for example. So this is my learning path here. But finally, your application is going to be or sending to where your application is going to be sending to. Tell me. See, I written something. I written some code using with HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and React.js. I written some code with all these things. where this application visualization will be. Where this application visualization will be. Where? Browser. Finally, browser. Finally, output will be on top of the browser. Finally, output will be on top of the browser. Even though I'm writing a small hello world in HTML, it will show in the browser. This hello world, I change the color red, style change. That goes to browser. That H1 I want to click. Yeah, it will go to the browser. Listen to the browser. This H1 I written in React application. Yeah, that will show in the browser. Everything need to visualize finally in the browser. So browser is the major important thing here. Browser is the output here. Browser is the output here. But for the browser, we need to give the lot of ingredients. Browser is the plate. Browser is the eating plate. On top of this boiler plate, on top of the browser, I want to paste a lot of things. I want to keep a lot of things. I need to keep a rice. I need to keep a pickles. I need to keep a sweet. I need to keep a lot of things on top of the plate. When you are ready to eat a food, when you are working with some application means a food eating. Application means food eating means application using. You are using application means you are eating food. How you are eating food? You are eating food by the plate. But what this plate can contain with? This plate can contain with a lot of things. Plate contain food, plate contain curd, plate contain a lot of curries, pickles, sweets, a lot of things. All these actually comes with your program. All this comes with your HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Am I clear? So this is the architectural way of this particular JavaScript. Let me go. I just want to save the file also. Okay. Now let me go. This one. Okay. So after integrate the Java, this I will keep before. Come to the fundamentals. How to integrate JavaScript to HTML, that we need to understand. The second thing is we need to understand browser console. Browser console is very important. That we need to understand. The third thing is JS predefined functions. What are the predefined functions which are available? We need to understand. The fourth thing is how to create variables and all we need to understand. And fifth one, we need to understand how the data types will be. And sixth one, we need to understand the loops and conditions. And seventh one, we need to understand events in JavaScript, how the events are going to be performing on top of the JavaScript. And DOM manipulations or DOM operations, we need to understand. What are the different kind of DOM operations? DOM means document object model. DOM means document object model. Document object model. It means browser. In the case of JavaScript, it is calling as document object model. In the case of JavaScript, it is actually calling as document. But in the case of HTML, it is a browser. Okay, I want to keep some element on top of the browser. That is one DOM operation. I want to do some color change. That is one DOM operation. When you do the mouse over, I need to change the color. That is one DOM operation. When you click on the button, that is one DOM operation. If you are clicking on the button, you want to show something. That is one DOM operation. If you are searching, you are entering something into the text box. That is one DOM operation. After entering, click on the search button. You are receiving the data. That is one DOM operation. When you click on the search button, some request is going. That is one DOM operation. Everything is DOM operation. Am I clear? DOM is nothing but document object model. Your document, your browser have a lot of objects. Everything is an object. Even your text box is one object. Your button is one object. Your paragraph is one object. Your form is one object. Your table is one object. Your image is one object. And that have some kind of data. The data is called a model. The data change process. The data changing process is called a model. Model is nothing but business. Model is nothing but what? Business. Business means a data. And object means every component is called object. Object is visualized element. కంటికి కనిపించేది ఆబ్జెక్ట్. ఆ కంటికి కనిపించే దానిలో ఏం కనిపిస్తుంది అనేది మోడల్. వాట్ వీ కెన్ ఏబుల్ టు సీ ఈస్ మోడల్. And where all these things placed under, that is an object. You're taking a bucket. Bucket is document. Bucket is an object. Bucket is an object. No. Bucket is document. Inside the bucket, some object is there. Inside the bucket, you may pour water. Inside the bucket, you pour different color water. Inside the bucket, you pour a different kind of thing, different kind of oil. That is the object. And model is something like a business. Okay. That is one thing. I cannot able to give the real explanation for this. So, whatever you may imagine, that is your wish. So these are the different kind of operations, and one is the JSON handle, and one is there are different kind of JS methods are there. Very important JS methods are there. A lot of important JS methods like a fetch method, okay, map method, filters. And there are advanced features like ES6 features also there. We will go through that. And TypeScript, how to work with the TypeScript also we can able to deal with. I'm just writing basic topics here. I'm just writing a fundamentals here, but content is very bigger. I'm just writing what are the things we have to cover with the JavaScript. I'm actually telling here. And something like a browser operations, CSS operations, SOM operations. So here, not only DOM, we will be having SOM, we will be having the BOM operations also. DOM means document object models. SOM means CSS object model. Let me write CSS object model. BOM means browser object model. There are multiple kind of DOM operations, SOM operations, BOM operations we can try to understand. And here JavaScript methods means there are multiple methods. Not only this, we will be having a date functions. We will be having the date functions. We will be having the timer function. We will be having object-oriented functions. See, there are multiple things. Basic hooks also there in the JS methods. We try to understand different kind of syntactical procedures in JavaScript. Can I go with the first topic? How to integrate JavaScript with HTML, right? How to integrate JavaScript for HTML? So I'm very good in HTML, sir. I can able to write a clear HTML. I know all the tags and all. Now I want to integrate some JavaScript, sir. I want to work with the JavaScript, sir. I'm having a button in HTML, sir. I know how to create a button in HTML, sir. I know how to create a button in HTML, but I don't know how to click on the button. Got my point? I know how to create image in HTML, but I don't know how to hover on image. If I do hover on image, Shah Rukh Khan need to change to Salman Khan. That is my agenda. If I hover with the mouse on top of the image, Shah Rukh Khan need to change to Salman Khan. That is my real execution. So how to change Shah Rukh Khan to Salman Khan? That is JavaScript. Showing Shah Rukh Khan image is HTML. But when I hover on Shah Rukh Khan, that need to change to Salman Khan. That is showing bulb image on top of the browser is HTML. But when you hover on the bulb, that bulb need to switch on, or the bulb need to show with the lightness. That is something like a Java. Bulb పెట్టడం అనేది HTML, పెట్టిన బల్బ్ ని ఆన్ చేయడం అనేది స్విచ్ చేయాలి. బల్బ్ ఆన్ చేయాలంటే ఏం చేయాలి? When you want to make bulb on, switch on చేయాలి. That switch is event. The switch is something like your event. That event you can you need to trigger through the JavaScript. Remember? That's it. Okay, there are multiple ways to integrate JavaScript. The one is inline JavaScript. The one is internal JavaScript. The one is external. Three ways. Inline we can able to integrate. Internal we can able to integrate. External we can able to integrate. So inline means how we can go with inline. Inline means element specific JS. Inline means element specific JS. Internal means page specific JS. External means application, total application, one JavaScript file, application specific JS. three kinds. One we can go with inline, one we can go with internal, one we can go with external. So what is inline? Okay, how to write inline? Inline means very simple. For example, I will be having a button. When I click on the button, I need to do something. When I click on the button, I want to show some alert box. Then for this button, for open tag, I need to trigger one event. For example, I want to go with the on click. There is an attribute. There is one simple attribute called on click. When I do on click, I want to call a value. Okay, fine. Alert, and I want to show something. But this on click have a value with single quotes. On click have some value that is using with single quotes. But now inside the alert also I need to provide some value. Already single quotes given. Don't write single quotes again. Go with the double quotes now. Already single quotes given for the on click. Then don't go again single quotes here. Go with the double quotes inside. So let's okay. You clicked on me. You clicked on something. I want to. This one, this is single quotes, and I'm giving internally double quotes. But for example, for on click, you are giving double quotes. For on click, you are giving double quote means for alert, you need to give the single quotes. Otherwise, it will confuse. The statement will confuse. Okay, this is the only way for inline JavaScript. Don't write multiple things in the inline. Inline only for events. The basic initialized events only inline JavaScript will be used. What is the meaning of initialized event? And when you launch a browser, when you launch an application, sometime when you open a Flipkart.com. When you open a Flipkart.com, first of all, one simple prompt to message will come. Prompt window will come. What the prompt is actually, if you're not sign in, you're not a registered customer, please go and register. They are actually asking your details. They're actually asking your details, your phone number, your name, your whatever location, some kind of applications. When you launch for first time, it will ask you some your details. That is a prompt message. That operation is going to be performing from the body onload function. Body onload event. When body is actually launching, then onload event is firing. Through the online onload event, they are actually triggering or they are actually launching one prompt message. Through the prompt message, whatever the values you are giving, those values are actually storing by the database. Right. So that is basically inline, not that much used. Even inline also not that much used. Only external is in real time, external is used. Page specific. For example, in my web page, if I'm having 10 pages, 20 pages, that is old pattern. Nowadays, no multiple pages, only single page. Nowadays, all applications are having single page only. Nowadays, who is the famous and modern applications? Single page applications are famous. Even your YouTube, your Facebook, your Instagram, your Twitter, your WhatsApp, your all applications, your Paytm, every application is single page application. Single page means only index.html is there. Only one HTML file. Multiple HTMLs, no. But previous applications, multiple pages are available. That is having a lot of drawbacks. Later, when I come to the React, I will explain you what is single page application, what is multi-page application. What are the advantages with the single page application, disadvantages with the single page application. Advantages with the multi-page application, disadvantages with the multiple applications. But advantages are more in the single page, disadvantages are very less. But come to the multi-page application, disadvantages are more, advantages there is no advantage. There is no advantage with the multi-page applications. Later we will discuss about it. That is the why reason nowadays single page SPA is famous. SPA done with React, SPA done with Angular, SPA done with the Vue. SPA is not done with the basic JavaScript. SPA is not done with the basic jQuery. SPA is going to be done with only React, Angular, and Vue. Modern JavaScript libraries only. Am I clear? And with your SPA is lightweight application. This is most important interview question. The first interview question when you go for the React interview or Angular interview or JavaScript interview, first of all, they will ask you what is the major difference between the single page SPA and MPA. SPA is a single page application, MPA is multi-page application. They will ask the first question, and you have to give the proper answer for them. Okay, so we will see that, and if you want, you can search in the YouTube. Lot of videos also come, and we will. I am also having one video in the YouTube, and I will post one video also. The differences between the SPA and later we will discuss. When I come to the React, I will take a one complete day for this differences. Okay, come to the inline JavaScript. Inline JavaScript is every page individually we are implementing JS. For every page, for example, if you have 5 pages, if you have 50 pages, if you have 5,000 pages, for each and every page individually JavaScript we need to write. Specifically page by page we need to write. If inline, element by element we need to write JavaScript. For example, one application is there. For example, one application is there. Okay, this is my one application. Imagine this is a Facebook or Nosebook, whatever. Nosebook. This application is Nosebook, not Facebook. Facebook లాగానే మనం ఒక నోట్బుక్ అనే అప్లికేషన్ క్రియేట్ చేస్తున్నాం. Notebook application. This application need to have multiple pages, right? This application need to have multiple pages. This is home page. This is the detail page. This is the comments page. This is something. This is something. Maybe this notebook is going to be having only 4 pages. For example, for this notebook application, we have 4 pages. For each and every page, I need to implement JS separately. So here JS is separate. Here JS is separate. Here JS is separate. And here JS is separate. The total application need to have JS separate. That is called internal JavaScript. Then what is inline JavaScript? For example, now I'm going with inline. For example, this first page, I'm going to be having multiple elements. In the first page, I'm having multiple elements. Okay. What happened? In the first page itself, I'm going to be having multiple boxes. For all the multiple elements, individually, I want to implement JavaScript. For example, the first element, I need to implement JavaScript separately. In the second element, I need to implement JS separately. And the third element also, I need to implement JS separately. This is what called inline JavaScript. Inline means inside the element we are writing JavaScript means inline. Inside the page you are implementing JavaScript means internal. Inside the page you are implementing JavaScript means internal. Throughout the application you are implementing one JavaScript means external. So how external will be? For example, I will be having some JS file separately. Somewhere I am writing a JS. Somewhere I am writing the global JS file. So here I am writing a global JS file. So that global JS file need to integrate for all the pages. For example, this global JS file need to integrate for the first file. This global JS file need to integrate for second file. The same JS file need to integrate for third file. The same JS file need to integrate for fourth file. First page, second page, third page, fourth page. For all the pages, one single JS file is going to be injecting. That is what actually external JavaScript is. Make clear? Okay, let me save this also. But I cannot able to draw the pictures in a good way. This paint is problem. I don't have any problem. I'll try to come with one more option. Without using this paint, I can go with online online draw is there. Okay, that is the one thing. Come to the point here. Inline JavaScript is that, and this one is internal. I think this is internal. Every page individually we need to implement JS. That should be like this. Script open, script close, script open, script close. Inside the script, I need to write my JS code individually. For each and every file, separate script. File 1, separate script. File 2, separate script. File 3, separate script. But external JavaScript is completely different in this case. External JavaScript, coming to the external JavaScript, one JS file we need to write. For example, I want to write a file.js. Inside the file.js, I'm trying to implementing a lot of JS code. Inside the file.js, I'm trying to implementing a lot of JS code. For example, file 1.html, I need to integrate what? File.js. File 2.html, this is file 1.html. This is file 2.html. I need to integrate what? Again, file 3.html. Again, I need to integrate what? File 3. File dot. Same file.js, 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 integrating for the file 1, file 2, file 3. But in internal alagadu. Internal concept is different. In internal concept is different. Internal, what is going to be happen? For first file, separate script. Am I right or wrong? For first file, first JS. For first file, some JS code. For the second file, another script. For the third file, another script. Am I right? This is JS1 code. This is JS2 code. This is JS3. What is JS1? What is JS2? What is JS3? Based on your ratings, based on your content. For example, here I am having events. Here I am having some date methods. Here I am having some login functionality. Here I'm having some sign up functionality. Here I'm having some events. So different kind of things. Based on the page, some different kind of functionalities. But login, sign up, events, all these things we will put in the single file means that is the external. But in real time, which is famous? In real time, only external, no internal, no inline. There is no panchayat with internal and inline. Only the panchayat with only external. The same concept in the CSS also. CSS also inline is there, internal is there, external is there. CSS also inline means element by element we need to write the colors. Element by element we need to make a markup. That is inline CSS. Internal CSS means page by page we are giving markup. Internal CSS, sorry. Yeah, internal CSS. Throughout application, one time markup we are providing. External. Throughout the cinema, throughout the cast and crew, only one makeup man. That is what external CSS. Hero, one makeup man. Heroine, one makeup man. Junior artist, one makeup man. Internal. No. Hero category. Hero category. There are multiple heroes. Hero category, one makeup man. Or gender, male, one makeup man. Female, one makeup man. That is internal. In male also, every person have unique makeup man. Inline. Generalized way I'm telling, but this is in reality you can understand when I come to the programming and all. But my point, I think so. How the things are going to be happen.